Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energies for each life path number for the month of April 2024. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like your own personal reading, please book some time with me where we'll look at your own personal numerology and your year ahead or whatever you want to look at, or any questions you may have. You can book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. Life path number 2. So April is bringing the cycle of the 14-5 for you all, as well as stag energy. So it's interesting because with stag energy, there's this sense of leadership, right? This sense of presence, but there's also this gentleness to it because it's deer energy. So there's definitely this calm, collected, very observant type of energy. While also, again, when there's a huge buck or a huge stag in your presence, it's there. You see it. It's got its presence. It owns its space, so to speak. And it's also this sort of protective type of energy. So there could be some things this month that come in for you where you are meant to, own your space, check in with yourself, check in with your relationships, see where it is that needs some extra TLC to get it to a place of an equal exchange of energy. So if you're showing up more than the other person, if you're giving too much, or if you're taking too much, whatever side you fall on, or if you're in an extreme, stag energy is saying it's time to take the reins and be the leader within your own experience. And do that in a gentle way, right? It doesn't need to be aggressive or vindictive or anything like that, right? So beautiful energy with stag. Now with the 14-5, it's interesting because this energy automatically with 5 energy brings some sort of change, some necessary change in some area of our life where it's become too routine, too stagnant, too rigid, where we've sort of become set in our ways. The 5 comes in and sort of spices things up. And so it's going to ask you in whatever area of your life there needs to be some kind of change or modification, whether that's a lifestyle modification or change in behavior or belief systems in some way. You could see that come in at this time where you feel that sort of confrontation from the universe, confronting you with what it is that needs that modification. And it's going to be up to you to make those changes or, again, those shifts to get a more desired outcome. So in other words, if you're in a dead-end job and every day you say how much you hate your job, the universe is going to say, okay, well, there's something better for you, but I can't just give it to you. You have to show up and you have to do the change. So you have to apply for the other jobs. You have to, you have to show up. You have to put in the effort. You have to make the change. And then the universe can meet you there, or God, or whatever you subscribe to, or your higher self, or whatever, right? But it's it's there to be claimed, but you have to show up to claim it. And so this 5 comes in and says, we need to get serious about where it is that we need to make modifications or changes, and then we need to do that, see it through to completion, so that we can reach those more desired outcomes. And so one question I would say with this 14 energy is, where is it in your connections, your situation, your creative projects, where you are giving up too soon? What is it, where is it that you might be neglecting some area of yourself, right? So a lot of times when 5 energy comes in, it also asks us, where is it that we need to get more serious about something and commit to something? So a lot of times, in life, if we don't get, especially nowadays, if we don't get the instant gratification, we assume that it isn't for us, or we assume that, we're doing something wrong. And so we will either let go of it because we're bored with it, or we haven't seen the results that we want. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of times we just didn't give it enough time. We didn't have enough patience. We didn't see it through to completion. Sometimes we do need to shift and change gears, right? And so you'll have to decide what area you're being asked to look at. But sometimes, let's say that you want to learn to play the piano, but you start to take lessons and you don't see, you're not can't join the orchestra after a month. And so you say, well, this isn't for me. It takes too much work. I'm giving up on it. you might have been able to join the orchestra, but you would have had to put in the effort, right? And the 4 in the 14 requires that. And so there's going to be areas within your life where you might be asked to commit this month. And whatever you commit to this month, whatever it is that you say yes to, just know that it might take some time, a significant amount of time, to see the results that you're trying to achieve. But you can achieve those results. You just have to continue to persevere. So definitely take a look at what it is that, you need to commit to a little bit longer and to see those results. You need to see it through to completion. So the interesting energies this month, it'll depend on, where it needs to come in for you, but there's definitely something here about you, being decisive, going after what you want, making the changes necessary, and realizing that in all of these situations, you are the stag, right? Like you're the one that has to show up and do the effort and put forth the effort. So hope it's a great April. Take care, twos. Bye for now.